Evening, folks. It is Friday. You've made it to the end of your week. Another week in the books. It has been a strange week in terms of weather, especially here in the UK. It has been snowing and raining the entire time. It is very, very strange. We should be coming into like spring around about now. But unfortunately, it's just been absolutely freezing. So I'm hoping this is like winter's last big blowout before we get to like, the warmer weather. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, if you like what I do, head on to Composite Games down below. They do a lot for the channel, so if you want to get any models, head on down there, use the promo code Northern Exile down below to get yourself 5% off at checkout. And also, if you like what I do, the subscribe button is down below, and the Patreon is down below too, if you want to buy me a beer or anything. So, lots of hobby nightmares to get through today. Let's have a little look, shall we? Let's have a go. Dwight says, "Hi North. Long-time listener, first-time writer." Okay, cool. I've always wanted to read that out when somebody sends me something in. "After listening to several sessions regarding hobby nightmares, the story keeps popping back into my head." Okay. My friend and I were either just a few years out of college or maybe in college. It's been 15 or 20 years since this story, to be exact, so the time frame is a bit lost to me. He rented a condo-type unit with some friends, where each unit's garbage opened up to a shared community driveway where 3 other condos had their garages. So, a condo, for those of you in the UK who don't know, is kind of a converted apartment. So it's like normally a smaller space that's been converted into a full apartment. I was when I was in America, after I split up with my lady friend over there, I ended up seeing somebody else. And she lived in a condo, and I'd never been inside one before. And it's very nice. It's just very vertical. It was extremely vertical. But hey. Inside my friend's garage was a standard-sized pool table, as well as a kegerator. Is that a refrigerator for kegs of beer? Man, that's cool. If you've got a refrigerator for kegs of beer, that is awesome. A kegerator. Jeez. My friend and I would often set up our small armies on the pool table and play a few games of 40k. Him, Orcs, and I, Space Marines. Yeah, a pool table seems like a pretty good place to play a game of 40k. To be fair. If you don't mind like scuffing it up with a few like bits of scenery and stuff, yeah, that's pretty cool. The lines would be a bit odd, but whatever. Springtime in California, beer, friends, and Warhammer really couldn't be beaten. Yeah, man. However, I forgot to mention that the kegerator had spilled beer in it from over a year ago and had the most god-awful smell coming from it. Dude, there is no worse smell than gone-off beer. It is awful. As somebody who's worked in bars, take it from me. There's nothing worse than the smell of gone-off beer. Oh my god, it's disgusting. A smell between hot cheese and vomit soup. Yeah, exactly. Not good on a warm spring day. In order to not die from the smell, we'd open up the garage, move the pool table to the opposite end of the garage, and play that way. It's Saturday, and I arrived to play a few games before work. We pop open the garage, move the pool table over, and begin setting up our terrain/armies. That's when, from across the shared driveway, I hear the sound of a shower running. Ah, weird. Thinking nothing of it, condo windows were higher up, and had that frosted glass look, but the window from the neighbouring unit was definitely open, hence the sound. Around 5 minutes go by. We're just starting turn 1 when, from the same direction of the shower running, my friend and I both hear a girl moaning coming from that bathroom. I whisper to my friend, "Do you hear that?" He responds, "Hell yeah, I do." The moaning gets louder and more intense over the next few minutes. After listening to about 5 more minutes of splashing water and louder oohs and ahs, the girl finally finishes, shuts off the water, and is out of our lives forever. Best time playing Warhammer ever. P.S. In retrospect, we should have clapped her. I hope you mean just applaud and not like actually go over there. But obviously she was having a good time to herself in the shower. Everyone does it every once in a while. Good on her. Now, You know, she probably didn't notices a few days later that window's open. Do you know what I mean? She didn't notice it then, but I bet you a few days later she walks into that bathroom, looks up, sees the window's open, and goes, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, the window's open." How long has that been open for? Oh no, right? It's going to be one of them horrible realizations. So, but good for her, shower head's got to be useful for something. Good for you. Anyway, Matt says, "Hi North, Matt here. Been a while since my last email to you, and given the negativity within the local meta towards Games Workshop and their business practices recently, I thought I would share 2 experiences that helped me when I was both at my lowest, and how I continue to return in kind." Okay, cool. So, I had a job a few years ago I considered to be one I would stay in for the long term. Through managerial changes, reluctance to adhere to safety policy, and general disregard for staff safety, it led to several injuries and 1 death on the job, however. Oh my god. At one point, I was involved in one such incident. Fortunately, the end result was only minor, with a suspected exposure to a contractor, which turned out to be nothing. However, I was thrown to the proverbial wolves and suspended with full pay, with no indication of how long said suspension would last. That's me, by the way. Regularly, during my 12-hour shifts... Wow, are 12-hour shifts legal? I'm not sure they're legal. They're not legal in the UK. The thing is, though, in the UK, this is how stupid our country is. 12-hour shifts aren't legal, but they do them anyway, and nobody ever complains, and nobody ever, enforces the actual law of 12-hour shifts not being legal. But, there you go. 0-hour contracts as well. Oh my god, get rid of them. Horrible. Horrible. If you don't know what they are, they're a contract that you sign with a company to work for them. Sometimes exclusively, right? But they don't entitle you to work any hours. So if you work for, say, a big company like Games Workshop, they don't do GW do not do 0-hour contracts, by the way, for good reason. And the main reason is, a big company can say to you, listen, Dave, you are working, here is your contract, you can't work for anybody else, you work for us, and we're only going to pay you the hours that you work. And if we don't need you, you won't be working at all. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if we do give you a 12 to 15-hour shift, suck it up. Suck it up, because we can just sack you at any time. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Regularly during my 12-hour shifts, I would spend my lunch hour making and painting armies for Age of Sigmar and 40k. Among digesting sci-fi and thriller novels. However, at this point, I was not given time to clear my drawer, in order to take my painting materials or even my small box of models that I was working on. I was escorted off-site, with no indication of when I would return. Dude, did you kill somebody? Like, why were they so desperate to get rid of you? What's going on? You gotta elaborate on that. That's where the interest in this story is. What have you done? Just a small explosive device? Like, what did you do? The hardest part was explaining the situation to my wife. Yeah, no shit. As you know, I regularly battle depression, and this incident triggered a severe case of it. I was at my lowest ebb for some time. My wife, supportive as ever, asked where my models and paints were, to which I explained and broke down. She then decided to drive me to our nearest Games Workshop and told me to go inside and not leave without a full bag of models and/or supplies. What a woman. What a woman. I hope you make her dinner, rub her back, and then blow said back out as often as you can, because you need to keep that woman around, my friend. That is a good one. You're on to a winner. We were on decent money and had savings available, so paying for said models was not an issue. Good, good. I did not have the confidence or compulsion to make a purchase at all. Wandering around the shop, seeing how happy everybody was there, playing games, discussing lore, and generally having a good time. Dude, that's what Games Workshop should be, though. That's literally what it should be. I walked into the Liverpool one the other day, and I kept my... This is a bit like... It's horrible, but I have to go in there with my hood up if they don't know who I am. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've not met the staff before. There's a few staff members in there that I do know and I do speak to, so I'm okay in there. But yeah, some Games Workshops are a bit iffy about YouTubers going in there, even if they're small, because they think that we're going to do like a hit piece on them online or something. But no, the Liverpool one's really good. If you are around about town in Central Station, go and have a look for it. It's a nice little Warhammer store. Anyway, the manager came over to me, told me to sit down, and spoke quietly to me about what had happened. He had been at the shop for several years, and we had developed a friendship which survives to this day. I explained the situation briefly, to which he asked my wife to come in. He told her to go shopping for an hour, while he spoke to me inside the shop. You could take that several different ways. He's like, yeah, toots, off you go. Gonna, like, talk to your man. No. Good on him, though. He did have a helper at this time in the shop, and asked his aide to take orders, deal with customers, and the like, while he had a one-to-one with me. He gave me encouraging advice, complimented me on my painting, after asking to see pictures of what I was working on, and simply said he would sort me out, quote-unquote. Okay, that could go in one of two directions, but we'll see. I left the shop with a new army, the paints I would need to start again, and even gave me some complimentary brushes from his stock supply he had written off. I'm pretty sure he wasn't allowed to do that, but it reassured me it was no problem. He's allowed to do it if it's his own stuff, but generally, even if it's his own stuff, he will get frowned upon by HQ for giving stock away, on premises. But what they don't know can't hurt them, and they're not going to sack you for like giving away one of your own paintbrushes. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure he wasn't allowed to do that, but he reassured me it was no problem. However, he said I must come back over the next couple of weeks with said army and wanted to see how I was working on them. We did this for 2 weeks until I was able to retrieve my property from that job. Well, here's the thing, right? Games Workshop managers. I bet he's not given those models away. He sold those models. And I'm willing to bet that Matt bought a lot more models than he was going to do originally, because the Games Workshop manager went over there, was enthused about this hobby, made him feel good about himself, turned his day around, actually put effort into talking to him about his hobby, and making sure that he felt heard and he felt listened to, and he had the space when he needed it. Then Matt got more models, right? That's how it works. You provide a really good service, and then people buy more models. You don't dry hump somebody until they buy something from you. You don't show them things that they don't want because it will look good on your KPIs. You go over to them, you make sure, you ask them really good questions, and if they want to be left alone, you leave them alone. If they just want to shop, you just leave them alone. But if they look like they're having a hard time, if you know them, if you think you can turn the day around, then go and do it. Because most of the time, these people want to reward you with their custom. That's why they're standing in a fucking Games Workshop. Right? They want to reward you with their custom. So go over there, ask them good questions, be enthused about their hobby, make sure you try and turn their day around. Don't be like smiley, smiley, Carol, smiley about it, you know what I mean? But like, make sure that you're over there putting your best foot forward and making sure that they feel heard and that they're having a good time in the hobby. That's all you need to do. And most people, when they were going to spend £50, will now spend £75 because you enthused them in the hobby. And now they're doing it because they want to do it, not because you've dry humped them over to the Space Marine section like a rabid dog, right? Alright, moving on. In the end, I was given a slap on the wrist for my infraction at work. But the way they made me feel, along with others, drove a lot of good workers out of the company. I am a lot happier now since I left there, and still venture into said Games Workshop, even after several managers have come and gone. Even with the price spikes in recent years, I do not condone, I still owe a debt to this amazing staff that I met there, and at Warhammer World, who, when I have been there to do some painting on my off shift, I live about 15 minutes away, have thanked me for my input. This was when a school visit arrived, and one lad sat next to me with little or no painting experience. He also had some minor learning difficulties. I helped a few of them select a model each to paint, what colours they wanted to paint their model, and gave them all encouraging words about their work. The staff had to deal with customers and 8 other students, but given I was there at the end of the table, I decided to give back, so to speak. They commended me, even though I had no need to help, nor did I have any financial stake to do so. But seeing the smiles on people's faces when they are enjoying their part of the hobby is all I need to have a good day. Bloody brilliant! Absolutely brilliant! This This is the kind of thing I want to read on a Friday. Do you know what I mean? Just set you up for the weekend. Awesome stuff, man. Absolutely awesome stuff. I love this. It's brilliant. Like, this is exactly what the hobby is all about. This is exactly what I will shout the good parts of this hobby from the rooftops for as long as I'm able to, right? It is something that I don't know another hobby that does this, and this is why I push back against the gamey, memey sections of the hobby, because I see the same attitudes that are in video games coming over to the Warhammer hobby, and I don't want them here. I don't want them here, right? If you like to scream at people on League of Legends, fuck off, we don't want you. Right, go away. Either change your attitude when you're here, or go away. This is the hobby that we have. It's pure, it's cool, it's honest, right? And we've got each other's backs. If you're here to tear people down, if you're here to just be toxic, if you're here to just make sure that this place is not a good place for anybody else, go away. Go away. I'm sure there's a League of Legends lobby somewhere that is waiting for you. Go and play on it, right? This is Warhammer. We're here to support each other. We're here to have fun, right? We're here to give good-natured feedback and ribbing and stuff like that. No problem, right? I do it all the time on Hobby Nightmares. I do it all the time. And Hobby Nightmares is here as a catharsis for people who see bad things in the hobby and they need a valve, an outlet. To just say, do you know what? The hobby isn't that bad. And that's what Hobby Nightmares does. That's why I'm so proud of the series and how it's going and how people are responding to it. It's brilliant. But yeah, this is the hobby, dude. This is fantastic stuff. He says, pity Games Workshop doesn't pay more, as I would snap up a job there, but their wage payments wouldn't cut the mustard for me and my family. Mate, they wouldn't cut the mustard for anybody. That's the whole point. They wouldn't cut the mustard for anybody. I'm not sure if it's changed since, but somehow I was taking home around £1,000 a month after tax as a Games Workshop staffer. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. It's not fantastic. Somebody said to me, I'm pretty sure that's below minimum wage. If it is, then that's illegal. But like, I've shown them on the channel. I've shown my contracts on the channel where I've been like, this is like last year, where I actually showed my rate of pay and I said, look, this is how much I was getting paid and this is how much I got per month and here's my wage slip. And yeah, it's like around £1,000 a month. So, you know, they did it. Anyway, hope you're well and keep doing what you do. Yours, Matt. Cheers, mate. Cheers. So, Blackstone Chaplain says, hey, Northern Exile. Oh, I hate it when somebody uses my full name. It's like I'm in trouble. Like I'm in trouble. Do you know what we haven't had in a while? A letter from a woman. That sounds wrong. You know, a hobby nightmare from a lady. If you are a lady in the hobby, if you are a woman in the hobby, send some in. I like to get your perspective on things that have gone wrong in the hobby. Anyway. Hey, Northern Exile. First and foremost, I have bad dyslexia. No problem, mate. No problem. But I'll try my best to edit this post. Awesome, dude. Thank you. Anyway, this will be a short but sweet story about my friend's birthday and what I got him. We will call my friend Dave. Oh, I hope it's not going down one of them Dave rabbit hole videos. So this was back in 2019. The good old days. Well, it's like 3 years ago, dude. 4 years ago. The good old days when I got my first job the year prior. So I had plenty of money to go around. One day, Dave invited me to his birthday party at the largest hobby store in our city to play board and card games. That sounds like a good birthday to me, mate. If there's pints after that, then that's a good birthday. To which I accepted, of course. Then, on the day of the party, I was going to buy a demon prince for his Warhammer Chaos Army, okay? A family member, I think I've read this one before. Anyway, I'll carry on. A family member drove me to a smaller hobby shop and stayed outside as I walked in. Awesome. Brilliant. Looking around the Warhammer section, they did not have the demon prince that I was looking for, except for one. The store had Magnus the Red, and I was running out of time, so I grabbed it and rushed to the cash register. The man behind the register looked at it and asked me, are you sure you want to buy this for your friend? He is pretty overpowered right now. Like, see, now that's the thing. That's the thing. And I'm glad I'm doing this again, because I didn't pick up on this last time. For some reason, this Hobby Nightmares come in twice. and has been, like, you know, marked as unread twice, but, you know, there we go. It's fine. It gives me a chance to go through this one once again. So, the hobby store manager shouldn't be talking to you about how things are in the game. That's going to sound really weird. But bear with me when I say this. Look, he should be telling you about the price. Are you sure you want to buy this for your friend? It's incredibly expensive. How much is Magnus the Red right now? Let's have a look. Magnus the Red model. So I bet you it's £85, right? £85, and it's £95 from Games Workshop. Am I right? £95 from Games Workshop. £100 from Games Workshop. Cheeky bastards! Look at that. £100. Fuck off. £100. I remember when that came out, and it was oh my god, it was so much cheaper than that. About 80 quid it was. What a load of cheeky bastards. Anyway. Yeah, he should be warning you about the price. He shouldn't be going on about gamey stuff. He shouldn't be saying to you, this is kind of overpowered, dude, blah, blah, blah. If this is a Games Workshop manager, if this is a friendly local game store manager, do what you want, dude. No problem. You know, it is what it is. Your store, your rules. But a Games Workshop manager shouldn't be giving you gaming jargon as you're trying to walk out of the store with a model, right? They should be saying, hey, man, are you sure this is what your friend wants? Because, like, you know, if you're, like, in your teens, because I don't know how old you are, this is your first job. If you're, like, in your late teens, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, hey, man, are you sure? Like it's pricey, you know? And half the time, the kid would be like, well, most of the time, 95% of the time, the kid would be like, yeah, it's my birthday money, and slam it down, right? And be like, okay, cool, here's your Magnus, awesome, man, and do that. Like, don't second-guess people and make them not want to get the model, but, you know, just make sure that this is what they actually want. The fact that he's saying this is overpowered right now is kind of guilting you into not getting the model that you want, and that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do you know what? Even if you are a local hobby store manager and you own the store, don't do this. Don't say to somebody at checkout, wow, this is really overpowered. Are you sure you want this? Go fuck yourself. It's my hobby, my choice. I like the model. It's none of your business. None of your business. Anyway, I vaguely remember responding along the lines of, yeah, I know, but it's his birthday today. To which I then paid for it. I got back to the car, and my family member asked me, is that what you wanted to get him? To which I responded with, no, they didn't have the one I was looking for originally. However, I think they might like this one better. When we drove to the other hobby store, where the party was, which was ironically near my old place of work, upon arriving, I said goodbye and went inside, and I texted Dave saying I was there. As I waited for him to show himself, I tried to hide the large box in my coat to surprise him. Though, in retrospect, I may have looked like I was a thief or some kind of weirdo. Yeah, dude, like, you shouldn't... Don't walk into a hobby store with a Magnus the Red and shove it under your coat. That's a good way of getting chased out. After a wait of a few minutes... Oh, hang on, I've got a bit of a story before we go into that. There was a kid in the Games Workshop that I was a staff member at, not the one I ran, that I was a staff member at, who would come in, and he would always, almost like a nervous tick, he would always get his model case and put it under his shirt or under his coat, right? He would just do that. And normally it would be behind him, not in front of him. He would just put it behind him, up his coat, and he'd walk around holding it like that, almost as if he was, you know, shocked and that people were going to nearly step on it and things like that. So my colleague, a friend of mine, it was my colleague, literally thought this kid was shoplifting. I didn't say anything for ages because, like, he literally hated the store that much. He was like, I don't care if he steals stuff. I really don't care. I like the kid. He's cool. I'm not going to say anything until it came up in one of our involuntary Saturday trainings, where our manager said, you know, how to spot shoplifters and things like that. And he brought up this kid and said, you know, this kid isn't a shoplifter. You know, he does this and that and the other. And to which my colleague said, oh, I thought he was shoplifting. Like, straight away. I thought he was shoplifting. Just my manager was like, and you didn't say anything? And he's like, well, yeah, I couldn't prove he was shoplifting, so you went like beetroot red, you know, like, he's like, oh shit, it'd been caught. So yeah, the little story. Anyway, after a wait of a few minutes, Dave appeared before me, and when I showed him the gift I had for him, his face was priceless. I won't lie, I was a little bit confused at first glance, and his explosive reaction of joy. However, I quickly realised it was because I had forgot his favourite Primarch was Magnus, and he was the missing part of his army. I'm sure there's a part of you in there, dude. There's a part of you in there that knew this in the back of your mind, you know? To put it in D&D terms, I had hit a natural 20 by pure luck. I did feel a bit bad, though, since I had outshined his boyfriend as he had gotten his game cards for his birthday. I profusely apologised to his boyfriend for this, and they were all good with it. After which, they then spent hours playing card games and board games. I do remember one of the card games you played a lot that day was Explosive Cats. Good on you, man. I played that. I swear I played that. This was my hobby story. Hopefully, the first of many. I am an aspiring writer, so criticism is welcome, as I want to try to get better. Mate, no, you're fine. Great. P.S. Credit to my girlfriend who helped me edit this as well. Good lad. I also forgot, I got the Betrayal at Calth box set. That was the biggest surprise for me. Alright, now I'm done. Alright, man, cheers. No, really well written, dude. No problem with that at all. Fantastic. Lovely written story. So, a few things I wanted to go into at the end of this episode. Next week, if you could, bring in your hobby nightmares, send them to me on my email, if you can, to keep them in one place. It's down below the email, just send them over there. Nice and easy. It saves people asking 10, 20 questions about, hey, how do I get these to North, you know. Just send me them on email. They're all there for you. And yeah, and I can read them out. We are coming to the end of the mailbag now. We got about 5 left. So if you want to be on Hobby Nightmares, you're guaranteed to be on if you send me them in the next week or so. Yeah, I will get them on in the next week, or maybe a bit. Maybe. Oh, that was a lovely dodge there. I just saw on the video. Anyway, also continue supporting Composite Games. They're doing really, 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 really well for us. I'm thinking about starting a new army recently, but I can't figure out what to do. Because whilst I really do want to do like Sisters of Battle or something like that, I'm kind of sick of humans. I kind of want to move into Xenos territory. I don't want Tyranids or Orcs. I'm thinking of Eldar, but we'll see. And if I do Eldar, then I will be doing my own craft world for the channel. So, any ideas for that would be great. Send them in on email as well. And things that you think are really powerful in the hobby going forward in terms of the game. Because, you know, I'd quite like to get into the gaming over the summer. The summer is the gaming time for me. That's when I usually do it. So, that's when I'm going to be doing it this time around as well. Also, if you are in the Northwest at any point and you want to play a game with me or want to get in touch with me, the email is down below as well. Simply email me and we can sort something out. And if you are on the Patreon list of $25 or more a month, you do get time with me every single week to do a call or to do some gaming or something. We are going to be doing, drumroll, Project Zomboid over the summer. It's a game that everybody can play, even if you've got like a really potato PC. You can still play Project Zomboid. So we're all going to play that over the summer. So please, if you want to get involved, get onto that. I think I've been a bit too ambitious with the games we played on the channel in the past. We need quite a good PC to play them. So now, no, Project Zomboid, we're going to be doing that over the summer on our own server with our own mods. It's going to look really, really cool and really, really awesome. So yeah, we're gonna ape on that Last of Us bandwagon. I'm going to have some fun. Anyway, love you all long time. Those are the announcements done. I'm going to save the announcements for the Friday Hobby Nightmares from now on, just to keep you all abreast of what's going on. abreast of what's going on in the channel. Love you all. I will speak to you over the weekend. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you are having a difficult time in the hobby, or a difficult time in your own personal life, or whatever, the Discord is on the channel. It's free. Please come and join it. The invitation should still work. It's now a permanent one. I've just gone down in the game. I have no skill. Make sure you come on there and you have a good time and you talk to us. We have weekly sessions where we're all talking on voice chat. I'm very rarely there because I'm just really, really busy. But I do try to be there as many times as I can. They also watch movies together. They do all sorts of things together, man. So get on there. Have some fun. We are here for you. Please make use of us. Don't wander off into the night. Come and speak to us, please. Love you all long time. Speak to you soon. Have a good one. Love you. Bye.